Wow. Alright, well, here, since I've got all this time and all these miles ahead of me with plenty of lane splitting, I'm going to try my best to talk about it a little bit while lane splitting and give you guys an idea of what to look for when lane splitting and how to do it safely. Number one, I think the number one factor for lane splitting is speed. No matter how good of a splitter you are, if you're going too fast and people don't have a chance to see you, then you're gonna be in trouble. And what do I mean by don't have a chance to see you is, let's say I'm going 40 right now, right? So that's a moderate pace for, you know, almost dead stop traffic here. Dang, all these trikes, right on. But I'm going, you know, relatively, you know, it's a good pace. It's nothing too crazy. I could probably go a little faster if I wanted to, but I'm talking, so I want to focus, have more time to react in case something happens. But if you're going, say, 65, 70 miles per hour right now, and someone checks your blind spot, it might be clear, but you're covering so much distance in such a short period of time that, you know, they'll check it 1 second, initiate the turn, and, you know, here you come. And it's not exactly their fault either, because they don't have a chance to see you. Even if they look and you're not there 1 second, but you are there the second, that's on you because of your speed. So people make a big fuss about lane splitting and how it's dangerous. Lane splitting itself is not dangerous. What I'm doing right now is completely safe. I'm well within my limits and at a moderate speed that allows me enough time to react and allows enough time for other people down the road to see me if they were to check before changing lanes. Of course, it's unsafe when there's a lot of distracted drivers on the road. So yes, it's not, riding a motorcycle in general is not exactly the safest activity. So if you have reservations about, you know, oh yeah, there's a lot of distracted drivers, you probably shouldn't be riding in the first place. I mean, it's a risk versus reward type of scenario. You know, you put up with so much risk and you get X amount of reward, and it's up to you as an individual to determine whether or not the risk is worth, or sorry, the reward is worth the risk. But it's, if they can see you, then they probably won't move into your lane. But you have to give them that ability to see you. Like, Jesus. It's nice that some people do turn signal before they do stuff like that, but a lot of people don't. So you have to be very wary of that. You don't look right here, 1 car, 2 cars ahead. You want to look, keep your head up. I'm looking at that BMW X5 or X1 right now, and I'm going to see it in 3, 2, 1. So back when I was talking about that, it was an X3. When I was saying that, I was looking, what is that, 20, 30 cars ahead? And you want to have that focal point, but then you want to also be aware of your foreground. So you're going to be constantly scanning left, right, front, and then sometimes glance back just a little bit, see if I'm holding any like other riders up, or if there's a cop behind me trying to pull me over. You know, there's another thing to watch out for is when it's in dead stop traffic like this, and you see like a little opening right there, right here to my right. That's an opportunity for someone to go in there from another lane. And you know how people are, we're impatient, we want to get somewhere quick, and you always want to go to the shortest line, obviously. See, it's all about, you know, people see you, they move out of the way most of the time. Well, not most of the time, but sometimes. But these little holes here are opportunities for someone to switch lanes. When it's wall to wall like this, you can have less of an opportunity because obviously cars know that there's other cars right there, so they can't really go. But in this instance here, you know, this Mercedes over here on my right could have come over here, or maybe that Civic, the white Civic over here, could have gone left, or vice versa. This one Corolla could have gone in this right hole here. See, there's a hole right there. That guy moved in, no turn signal. So that's all stuff that you should expect before they happen. You know, just kind of pay attention to that. And when you see these openings and gaps, that's when you want to really focus on that and pay attention. And that applies for, you know, dead stop traffic as well as, you know, traffic flowing traffic as well. But lane splitting in itself, I am 100%, you know, in support of it. There's plenty of studies that show that lane splitting actually prevents accidents if done correctly. And you know, right now there's no law in California that states the correct way to lane split, which is why AB51, I believe it is, was introduced last year. Jesus Christ, these people. I'm just gonna rep on both of you. So AB51 was introduced last year sometime in, I think, 2015, maybe 14. But it basically seeks to codify lane splitting in the California Vehicle Code. And there was a lot of, you know, discussion as to whether or not it's a good thing for us motorcycle riders or not. Originally, the bill was written to say that you're not allowed to split above 40 miles per hour when traffic is at 40 miles per hour. And if it is below 40 miles per hour, you can split, but only no more than 10 miles per hour above the flow of traffic. So your top speed would have been 50 miles per hour while lane splitting. And that's just not practical. And so I guess, you know, people realize this, and the author, you know, amended his bill to say you can't split after 50 miles per hour. Oh, well, sorry, when traffic is going 50 miles per hour, and you can't go more than 15 miles per hour over that. So now your max speed is 65 miles per hour, which is, you know, more or less the speed limit in most parts of town on the freeway. But we all know that 65 miles per hour is not the flow of traffic out here. Not one bit. 65 miles per hour is slow for out here on the freeway. At least when it's open, there's no traffic. 80 miles per hour, I would say, is more the average. 75 probably. 80 is kind of on the, if you want to get ahead side. But you regularly see people going 90 plus. You know, and those are the guys that are really moving. But 80 miles per hour, I find, is like the middle ground for the most part in open freeway situations. And these weird buses. Yeah, but the bill died last year, and it has recently been brought back. And this time around, instead of codifying it with exact numbers, it literally just states, oh, allows for you know, the California Highway Patrol to place guidelines on lane splitting, and you know, basically that would be taken as law. And while I do trust the CHP, and I know they're huge advocates of lane splitting, and you know, their motor officers do it on a daily basis. It's a necessity for them, you know, both getting to work and patrolling and getting home. They utilize lane splitting more so and more effectively than any other rider out there. And same with you know, law enforcement in general. But the bill currently just states that, oh yeah, you know, we don't know the exact details yet, but once you pass it, then we'll figure it out. And I don't believe that's a very good way of approaching things, especially when you're talking about laws that affect hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions of people. Actually, yeah, it basically affects the entire state and all the riders in it. So what I'm trying to say is, although I do trust the GHP, you know, it does say that, you know, in conjunction with other agencies. So there's, you know, a lot of people, not all of which who are riders or know the little nuances of riding, that will make these decisions that would be final, and we don't get to vote on it at that point because it's already set in stone. We already said, yeah, go ahead and do it. I don't know what you're going to do, but just do it. And to me, that's a very dangerous situation, especially for a law that affects so many people, you know? So I didn't even know that was legal to do, just to leave a law so open-ended like that, and just, yeah, pass it, and then we'll figure it out later. Like, that's not how laws are supposed to work, you know, and people are saying, oh, it's legalizing lane splitting. Well, no, it's not, because lane splitting is not illegal, so you can't legalize something that's not illegal. That's not how the law works. So that's my little bit about lane splitting, and then also AB51. As a motorcycle rider, I am against it. Don't let them lie to you. It's not legalizing anything. It's already legal to do so. It's safe as long as you're doing it safely. You know, if you're riding like a jackass going 100 miles per hour, that's not a lane splitting issue. That's a speeding issue. It's a reckless riding or driving issue. You know, it's not. Lane splitting as it is fine. You just want to more focus on the other things that make it unsafe, such as speeding and just being reckless in general. So yeah, lane splitting is good. Do not get rid of lane splitting.